Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's Thursday, the 10th of March,
Yes, it is.
2022. You're here joining us on FYI for your information. Dorothy Fernandez, along with Sherrod Duncan, as you
Sherrod.
all know him, Sherrod. So, good morning to all you folks that have been online waiting patiently for us this morning. As
Yes.
always, Beatrice Selby is the first.
Yeah.
What do we do without Beatrice
Yeah.
being the first?
Beatrice keeps us in line.
Beatrice keeps us in check because
Yeah.
every time we see Beatrice on, we're like, you know what? Beatrice is up and out to work, on her way to work, and she's here waiting on us. So we need to be up and about, making sure that
Yeah.
we give Beatrice credible information at her fingertips this morning.
So grateful for folks like Beatrice and all the other folks who are joining us, guys. We always say when you come onto the broadcast that you share the broadcast for us and you smash that emoji button, share, smash, share, and smash. Great to have all of you guys. The days are rushing by. They are rushing by.
That
And
is
you
correct.
gotta be purposeful, you gotta be intentional about it. And you will see success.
Well, there's so many things that we've been talking about all the time when it comes to success and planning, especially. We're asking you guys out there to make sure that you plan your day, plan your week, so that you can get the most out of it. And we encourage you to actually have that little check to-do list when it comes, so that you will know what you have achieved and more so what you have not achieved. I see Keith Dowling joining us this morning. Good morning to you, Keith. Good
How you
morning.
doing, Keith?
Paul is on, also joining
Pablo.
from YouTube. Sandra Peters, good morning to you, Sandra. Gloria Chester, good morning, Gloria.
Gloria, how are you doing? How is Diamond today, Gloria? How is Diamond? How's the weather in Diamond?
See how shared no Gloria business.
Yeah, it's one of our faithfuls.
We have Penelope Green also joining us this morning. Paulianne Schultz. So good morning to you. Is it Paulianne? Yes, I think I have that correctly. Sandra Ford. Good morning, Sandra. And we have this morning Alma Harry Jones that's saying joining from St. Martin.
Yep. And Amanza, our co-host, is not here with us this morning physically, but we feel her presence. But Amanza is on some travel duties for the next few days, about 10 days or so. But Amanza will be checking in with us periodically to let us know where she is. So we're not going to tell you all where Amanza is.
We're not going to be telling you that,
No.
but you're going to see. We see Kenneth joining us from London this morning also.
Hi.
So
Kenneth.
Kenneth is out and about. I see Warren Figueroa on. Good morning to you, Warren. Don Cook. Good morning, Don Cook. How are you this
Warren
morning?
and John.
Family, FYI family. So we can say good morning to the FYI family. Make sure that you do your part. Continue to share the live stream. And I know, like, I've seen a couple diligent people, but I've seen a couple that are not so diligent.
Yeah.
We got to keep a tab on you guys.
Share the live stream. Share.
I'm going to do the move one given morning, not today.
Trisha gave us a very uppity share.
Oh my goodness. I do not do that.
And then
oh my God.
Smash.
I did not.
Smash.
Most definitely not.
Watch for it, guys. Guys, we're really happy that you guys are joining us this morning. So glad to see so many of you joining us. And again, we encourage you to smash the emoji button and share the program so that others can get the valuable information. Lots and lots of information to share with you guys today.
Correct. So folks that are new with us, because we've been noting the new persons that are coming on, we're so thankful for you joining the program. We encourage you to invite other persons to join. And as you come on, as you're a new person, let us know where you're joining the program from, so we have a good understanding of the reach of the program. It is so important to us to make sure that we get valid information across the length and breadth of Guyana and in the diaspora as well. So continue to let us know where you're joining from.
And if you're new, you can hashtag new in the comments. Hashtag new. Let's give you a special shout out if you're new to the program. FYI.
This morning a woman was telling us, one of our faithful watchers, she's like, she shared the program so much until some of our colleagues now says to her, no, you don't have to share, we're already logged in. We're good, we're logged in. So good morning to you.
Respect and manners.
all of you
Respect and
wonderful
manners.
social media activists out there, we encourage you to continue to be the active citizens that you
Yep.
are,
Yep.
and your activism is going to be further required as we go along this tough period.
FYI activists. Good to have you guys. Good to have you guys. A number of things making the morning papers, a number of things. And for those of you who haven't had a chance to look at it, to skim through the morning papers as yet, you're in the right place.
Well,
We can
most
help you all.
definitely, I think that's what
We
that's
try
what
to be
we
helpful.
do.
We try to be helpful. We are going to try to help you guys. You're tuned into the right place. The morning papers.
At the right
we can talk to you
time,
about that.
at the very right time.
Larry Crawford, we see you, and I see Andrew Cuthbert as well. The guys have gone with our comments. They're gonna just bring in the morning papers. However it is, we're gonna take it. Jason Mingo, we see you. Jason is joining us from the BVI. Good to have Jason, and good to have all the folks who are joining us from Barbados, especially Deborah Clark, one of our favorites out of Barbados, sent us some of the newspapers from Barbados. Dave, just slip us the other two that's on the table there. They sent us the Sunday Sun. I don't know if it's the Barbados Today, if they produce the Sunday Sun as well. But we were so privileged to get the Nation, the Sunday Sun. We got the Nation. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's the same
Yeah.
Company, but they just refer
We
to the
didn't get
Sunday
the-
paper as the Sunday Sun.
We didn't get the Barbados Today. Look, Deborah, make sure next time we get the Barbados Today. Folks, I couldn't decide whether I wanted tea bag or I wanted some hot chocolate, so I'm having both. Y'all try it out. We're having both, folks. Right? Yeah.
No, I was just going to say that we have New Jersey in the house this morning also, and persons joining also from Diamond Grove Housing Scheme and Linden. So those are the areas that's popping up with us this morning.
So guys, wherever you're joining us from, overseas especially, in addition to partnering with us, you can send us some newspapers, or if you're coming this way, bring a couple of newspapers from where you are. Warren, I was made to understand Warren might be heading this way. Warren, when you passing through JFK, when you're coming into the area where you wait to board, just downstairs as you're walking through JFK, there are some confectionery places there. You can pick up one of the New York Times for us or any other newspaper they're selling.
I see Naomi Drucker is saying Barbados Today is online Sherrod. So for those persons out that don't know Sherrod as yet, Sherrod like to have the physical newspaper.
Yes.
So
I love the feel of it.
We actually go through all the newspapers that are online. Every single last one. We deal with the Trinidad Express and on all of the newspapers online, and basically the Jamaica Gleaner and all of those things.
We still love the physical feel. We still love the physical feel of the morning papers, and it's kind of takes you back,
Yes.
It's a dying art form because, as Naomi says, most of the papers are online. We still love that physical newspaper.
So we see someone is joining us from Harlem.
Harlem.
Harlem. I'm thinking Batman. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a little different.
We're gonna read the papers too. We're gonna read the papers.
I'm thinking Batman.
Yeah. We're gonna read the papers as well, folks. But several things at our end making the morning papers, and we want to give you guys a sense of that. And
Naomi Drucker is saying, I don't think Barbados Today has a daily print. So probably that's something to note also.
You sure? Like I won't get him. I'm going to look for the other papers that Deborah sent us before, just to make a point. But if you know Naomi,
It's probably not every day, but probably they do once per week or something. I don't. I probably they do once per week. She said not daily.
I bow to your wisdom, Naomi. I bow to your wisdom.
Good morning.
About you is instant feedback. This is the power of social media. If I had to put in an article now, I had to wait for somebody write a letter back to the editor and say we don't have daily Barbados Today. But this is the power of social media. Instant feedback.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So guys, like we said, it's so good to have you all with us this morning. Continue to make sure that you share the live stream. It's very, very important for you to share because the amount of information and the depth of information that we bring to you, it just cannot be bottled up between a couple hundred persons. We need to share that a couple thousands.
Or as Ruth is going to say shortly.
I'm not going to be doing that.
Yeah. Share and smash. Yep. So making the morning papers, we covered this story here with the missing fisherman.
Yeah.
The missing fisherman, and officially that search has been suspended. And this was in relation to the Essequibo boat mishap. The search has been suspended. Well, rather,
No, that's
sorry,
a different one.
the captain of that vessel.
I think that's a different one altogether.
Right?
But there, if you remember that we did cover a mishap and when the boat sunk and the captain has been suspended from that
Yeah.
boat, right?
That's the one we're covering.
Yeah. So
Same one.
so we
What
see,
she said. What she said.
So in addition to that, I see the Minister of Home Affairs is actually catching up with what we've been saying all the time in relation to the road carnage.
Yeah, Robeson
And
watches our program. Hi, morning. Good morning, sir.
good morning
Are we happy about that?
Sibeth and everybody else that's watching the program to make sure that they head in the right direction.
They get their talking
Right.
points from FYI.
Because
we happy about that. It's cool.
We're picking up in the morning papers that Ben sees need for heightened enforcement in wake of road fatalities. How long have we been talking about this?
Since the program started and before in the other programs that we've had. So it's a little while now. It's
a little while that we've been talking about this, and we definitely said taking it out of Starbuck News, it said Minister of Home Affairs Rubson Ben yesterday said that the recent spat of road fatality calls for renewed intervention such as heightened enforcement and increasing fines and sanctions. And I've been saying this every single day, not one day that I have missed. Persons need to be careful. I say the reason why people go out there is because there's no consequence to their actions altogether. They go out there and they misuse the roadway, however, because there's lack of consequence. So I'm thankful to see that persons are in the seats are actually catching up.
You have laws, you have enforcement, and you breach the law, you have penalties.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's it. So we're happy to see that.
Most definitely. Yep. In addition, the horrific William accident, it says that it is quoting from the mother here. She said he told me sorry, but what's sorry can do?
Yeah, and as we picking up some of this, as Judy says, the mother says that on the scene of itself, when they learned that the young man, Mr. Calito, had passed away, he worked at the bar, and you know what's even sad was reading the stories how it touches you. He had stepped outside to grab a bite. There was a burger stand close by to buy a burger. He stepped out for a couple of minutes when this horrific accident happens. And so the family got news that he was in this accident and rushed over there. And the young man who was driving the car, they were speed racing and so forth, lost control and then careened into this business, was on the scene too. And the mother said he came up to her and kept apologizing for what had happened. But by then it was too late. So that's what the mother is saying, what's sorry going to do?
Yeah.
It's
most tragic altogether, and I think it's just the manner in which it happened is completely it basically tears you apart, especially the fact that we come on these programs every single day and we caution persons. I know that we're not reaching everyone, but everyone needs to reach one. Each one teach one, I believe one of the saying goes that, and that's the way in which we need to do it. Persons out there, you have your teenage children and so forth, young adults going out into the world driving. Make sure that you caution them how they should be conducting themselves on the roadway. At least you are there as a mother crying as well for your child.
Correct. Right? And we say again, arrive alive, drive safe, be cautious on the roadways.
Guys, you see me stretching over. My arms are a little too short for this monitor this morning. So we see, as we continue in the morning paper, we see 2 men held after cocaine found in Tugville car. Sherrod.
Cocaine and everything. But what is on the scores too is that the police is having some level of success in apprehending these traffickers.
Yeah.
Right? These traffickers. So so kudos to the police force on that.
The second level traffickers.
The second level. But the big ones,
exactly.
Like the Belgian shipment.
They're not having any. I don't think they're putting any effort into actually apprehending those. I don't think the police wanted that level of fight, right?
So this is one we're seeing in the some of the headlines.
As we continue on the headlines, we see Venezuelan refugee escorted out of Cameroon, and we're picking up some bit of information out of Kiteshore News this morning. It says the Guyana Defense Force and the Guyana Police Force on Monday escorted a number of Venezuelans out of Region 2. According to the report reaching Kiteshore News, over 100 indigenous Venezuelan nationals were found within the Arpaco area of the upper Pomeroon River. The 125 persons escorted out of the regions, including men and women and even children. Reports reaching this publication suggest that the refugee group has been in the Pomeroon for almost an entire week. According to the source familiar with the matter, the group canoed from the river mouth all the way up to the Kabakabaru community, a 72 km journey,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Kaitra News understands that the indigenous group made several stops along the way. And
Yeah. What I couldn't gather from the story though is they escort him out of the region where, because the last part of the report says they would have been involved in some nefarious activities as they
yeah,
went through
because
that area there.
that's what that quotation ended. That Kaitra News understand that the indigenous group made several stops along the way, vandalizing several farms.
Yeah.
In the
So you escort him
process.
out of the region where? What's the plan after that?
Yeah.
Right. That was a missing element.
But I just want person to understand. They said that how they got there. The group canoed from the river mouth all the way to the Kabakari
Yeah,
community.
it's a porous area there because they didn't seem to have been intercepted before then by
No, but
anyone.
the Kabakaburi community, right? Because that's the community that they canoe to, right? It just goes to show the level of openness and lack of
Exactly.
security
Yeah,
from
yeah,
persons
yeah.
just
And we
coming
gotta
into
watch
the
that.
region.
We gotta watch that in terms of securing
Mhm.
our borders, right? Because we got some issues with the Venezuelans, territory, and so on. But that being said,
Yes.
those are some of the things that the morning paper is telling us today.
But I've been on that note. I just want to say that I've been speaking repeatedly on the fact that I don't think we have a grasp and understanding as to the amount of Venezuelan that actually is in Guyana right now. I don't think that the authorities is doing justice to the number, and I don't think we have control as to how it is going right now. So a lot of work needs to be done in that area, especially with all the issues that we have.
Yeah.
So another thing that we're picking up this morning, the headline coming out of Kaiju News again, is that Guyanese businessman to invest over $237 million in concrete battery plant as oil sector fuels construction boom.
Yeah, kudos to him. Kudos to him. That's a big investment, and no doubt a couple of jobs are going to be created there as well. I think that redounds to the benefit of all, and we'd love to see our own Guyanese people making this investment, these kinds of investment in our country.
But I just want to note the name of the businessman says Suresh Jagmohan, who was also conferred with a Medal of Service back in 2019, is the one who is gearing to expand his range of business venture with that investment altogether. So kudos to Suresh Jagmohan with that venture that he's about to undertake.
And again, those are just a couple of the things in the morning paper. So those of you who have not had a chance to skim through, to box through the papers as yet, those are just a couple of the things making the papers. Yep.
Well, I think Sharon, if you can pick up on this one, I see Shackleton's lost ship is found in Antarctic.
Yeah,
speak to me about this one.
Yes, ma'am. This was this was a ship that went missing over 100 years ago.
107 years, they're saying in the article.
Yeah, and it was an exploration in that area. The crew had made it to safety miraculously. Mm-hmm. They had made it to safety, but the boat was never, of course, was never found. Mm-hmm. And this discovery was made 107 years ago, November of that year. This boat went missing, and it was recently discovered. And they said the boat is in fantastic shape.
Wow! Wow!
It's in fantastic. 107 years later.
Wow!
I don't know what people want to do in Antarctica, but the place cold bad.
Yep. My God.
Yep.
Some bit of preservation done there.
That's what the ice do for you.
All together. I was thinking the same thing, some person say to me, you could go over in the cold and preserve your body. I don't know if that's what it is.
You know the story. You know.
Also, this morning, one of the things that we're picking up, I think coverage has also been made in the Stabrook News, is that the APNU AFC submits a parliament motion calling for the top cop to address abuse of power. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. And I think you have covered, I know that you covered a bit of that, not in all parts of this country when it comes to police abuse of power, use of excesses, I think, as Kemraj Ramchan would refer to that. But I think more recently, I from my hometown in Bartica, there were two specific the incidents rather that I can recall quite vividly. One with the young women that were handcuffed and all of that because they were receptionists at a hotel,
Yes.
and basically
Where something
persons,
allegedly went missing.
yeah, person sought to embarrass them because basically it was like they didn't have anyone to represent and defend them at the moment for something that obviously they claim to know nothing about, but without a shred of evidence that they had anything to do with the matter altogether. And also then the more recent case with the young man Chris Crichton, that a police officer was actually recorded threatening to take his life, to kill him, to murder him. So there are several cases that we have bringing to the forefront
Yep.
of persons. We continue to say that you're not going to see anything being done if we do not keep calling it out, if we do not bring public light to what is going on. Because back in the days, I dare say, when without the use of technology, how long would you have taken to know that this is what is going on?
Well, I don't know too much about back in the days because I am. Yes, back in the day, thing that you watching at me. Back in the day, I
Oh
won't know
my
about that.
goodness,
I'm gonna
Sharon.
keep reading my history. Keep reading my history.
As Sherika, but that
Yeah.
motion has been filed. That motion has been filed by Shadow Minister of Home Affairs, Gated Chandan Edmund. So we're gonna wait and see how that progress and keep you updated on that
Yeah, but
particular
much needed
matter.
attention on this issue.
Yes,
Yep.
most
Much needed attention.
definitely.
Yep.
This one, Sherrod, most interestingly, Digital aiming to roll out a residential landline service in 1 year. What do you think about that?
Well, competition is always good. Competition is always good, and looking forward to that.
And we're taking this out to the Guyana Times. It's how
Looking
we
forward
read
to that.
all our newspapers.
Yeah. Moving on.
Every single
Moving
last one. And where else am I?
Yep, one of the contentious issues where oil and gas is concerned is the issue of insurance. And the last thing we discussed on this matter, what we pick up in the morning papers, Dr. Vincent Adams had said that in 2019, ExxonMobil was ready to sign off on insurance, right? I think ExxonMobil had come out shortly after and said no, they had a different view. But now it seems as though the figures are quite close to what Dr. Vincent Adams was saying, because he did say the insurance then they were willing to sign off and was $2 billion. And even though that was not enough, it seems as though that is what this new direction is aiming to. And they're telling us that they're just about to do that.
Well, like we said before, Vincent Adams, Dr. Vincent Adams is the expert and he knows what he's talking about. So no surprise there when it comes to everything queuing up to what he said.
True and correct. True and correct.
All right, as we move along, guys, we want to get you guys into the morning trend this morning.
Yep. There's where we're heading. Guys. And I believe we're starting on some international news with the morning trend. We just been skimming through some of the stuff that's happening in the morning papers. Guys, what is the morning paper saying where you are? And as you join the program again, welcome to FYI. Those of you who are now joining, those of you who are new, just put in the comment section, hashtag FYI new, hashtag FYI new. Give you guys a shout out. But good to see Don Barnes here and Andrew Cuthbert and all the usual suspects. Good to see you folks here with us, and we are so grateful that you guys are here. So grateful.
I think we're starting this morning for the morning trend. We're starting on the international front, and where else could we start than what is going on right about now in Ukraine and the war in Ukraine? And we are picking up this morning that a maternity hospital was hit by Russian airstrike. The Ukraine president Volodymyr Zelensky calls the attack on the children's hospital a war crime. So this is something that happened there in Ukraine. I believe it was early yesterday morning, if I'm not mistaken. But most definitely, even acts of war, even in time of war, there are certain things that are
really following this clearly
against a lot of international charters and all of that. So most definitely, we continue to monitor what is going on there between Russia and Ukraine. And we said it from day one that although President Putin from Russia described it as a military action being conducted in Ukraine, everyone throughout the length and breadth of this world, every other nation, well, almost all of them, has actually referred it, rightly so, as an act of war. And now we are seeing at the level.
Thanks for coming back to us, guys. Yep.
Now we're seeing at the level of of the war that is going on there. There are war crimes being conducted when a maternity hospital, basically a children's hospital, was bombed
Yep, this
yesterday.
is 3 weeks going on for. I'm absolutely certain.
And for the persons out there, we've been telling you that everything that happens there have repercussions here and everywhere else in the world, and we are feeling it so
Yep,
direly already.
I'm absolutely certain that Mr. Putin did not plan to be here.
No.
3 weeks in at this point.
I don't think so. I
At this
think
point.
that is way different than it was planned. But as we move along, we want to take a look, go over to South Korea and what is going on in South Korea. And we see this morning that South Korea elects opposition conservative. And I'm not going to attempt to call that name, folks, this morning. I don't know if Sharon is going to be
Yoon Suk Yeol. I'm just going according to what I figure is
to be
syllabication.
to be the
Yoon
next
Suk Yeol.
to be the next president and not songwriter. I'm positive.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Folks, if you know what's the pronunciation, send it to us in a voice though. 6276963.
So there you have it.
Secure.
The new
Just having some
the
fun.
new president elect of South Korea is none other than whatever Sharon just called the name as. So you can
Mr.
go.
Hyun. Can't go wrong there.
Well, most definitely you can't go
Mr.
wrong
Hyun.
there.
Yep. That's what's happening there.
All right. As we move forward, picking up out of a statement that came out of the by the CARICOM heads of government yesterday on the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and the racist treatment of Black refugees. This particular matter, I'm happy that we have a statement coming out from the CARICOM heads of government on the Russian invasion of Ukraine when it comes to the treatment and the racist treatment of Black refugees, because this is something that a lot of evidence has been coming out about, a lot of video footage has been coming out about what is going on over there, and the fact that when persons of African descent is trying to board buses and so to get out of there, they are being refused entry onto such. So that very, very disturbing situation.
Yeah,
I know
and this is
Amanda
yeah.
spoke about it a whole lot. Amanda is very passionate about this particular matter over there. So we join in that statement in condemning those actions altogether at a time of war. How could
That was
they
one of the sad
segregate?
points. That was one of the sad points. Well, there was a lot of sad points in this war, but that was one that really stood out. The fact that you have all this atrocity happening, a loss of human life, and racism is still very, very strong. Yep. That being said,
folks, I'm coming closer to home. Well, being right at home, we have the GDF annual officer conference has scheduled to be started at the Ottochong Convention Center from today.
The police force.
Yes.
The police force, and we look forward to that.
The Guyana Police Force, that's the GDF, right?
a lot of statements are going to be made, a lot of speeches. Recently we saw, well, not recent, but in the recent past, the chaplain of the Guyana Police Force was fired because of a prayer at one such event.
Well, I
Chaplain, watch your prayers this morning.
When I saw it, right, the first thing I thought is that I need to look at the opening.
Yeah, because we watch all eyes, all ears on the opening prayer.
I need to look at the opening because since that prayer that was so widely circulated and all the actions that came thereafter, since that, so much more has occurred. We have a motion being put to the parliament right about now because of the use of excesses by police and all of that.
Yeah.
And so what is this prayer going to be? It's going to be a heightened prayer when it comes
to prayer. We're looking for it. I can hear Reverend Patrick Dooley Chan, who is the chaplain. I can hear his prayer, Lord bless these professional officers, this fantastic police force, who do a wonderful job. The last time he said corruption in the police force, Lord, weed it out. Corruption and a whole host of other things. No. He plainly carries different now, because I think Irfan had stepped in, intervened, and asked them to pull that back because he wasn't in disagreement with the prayer. And that's correct what Irfan said. So I can imagine Reverend going to be watching his prayers very carefully. Gracious President. We can be watching that. We can be watching that.
We thank you for your mercy.
Yeah, yeah. I think no other presentation can be more listened to and watched than the chaplain prayer.
I don't know if the chaplain's actually going to be giving you opportunities to pray. You know, we're going to be looking out. We're
Let's
going to be looking out.
skip that part of the program. Yeah. Yep.
Most definitely. So we're going to be looking on closely at what goes on at that conference. Again, the police force conference is going to be conducted from the 10th today to the 12th. And so I hope it's very productive.
Yeah. Respect and manners to
As we
Chaplain
move forward.
Reverend Patrick Dooley Chan. Respect and manners. Yeah. Moving forward, and a sad note, there's a pensioner who was found dead in Linden. You know, just like that. We're still following a story too of this woman, IT manager from, I think, Mercy Hospital, whose body was found too on the Marriott beachfront there. And police have said that an autopsy has shown that she died from drowning. But however she got there, it's quite strange because
Correct.
I think we saw some reports that said that she just goes to and from work via taxi. She's this IT manager from Mercy Hospital. So how she ended up there, is quite puzzling, and those
investigations are on the way with that. But as to this matter with the Linden pensioner that was found dead, we're picking this up out of one of the new online news sites. It says police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of 69-year-old Ronald Gregory, whose body was discovered on the east bank of the Demerara River within the vicinity of Courts, Guyana on Wednesday afternoon. So 69-year-old Ronald Gregory, the pensioner that was found, the body of the pensioner that was found there. We have our sympathy goes out to the family of Mr. Gregory, and we hope that clarity and conclusion can be brought to this matter as soon as possible.
Clarity, conclusion, and closure. Yep. Yeah. That being said, the EPA, there's a project being undertaken in the oil and gas sector, and the EPA has given only 30 days for objections to it.
Well,
the EPA, we got a lot of trouble with EPA, you know.
It's almost as though the EPA doesn't want persons to actually go out, because it's one thing for you to give 30 days for the objection, but how many persons actually know that they even have the opportunity to go out there and to give it, right?
We gotta correct the EPA different now. I don't know. The different. So it's this, and even too, while we're on the EPA issue and the time, the GCOM commissioners too, I see complaining that this whole claims and objection period has not been publicized properly, which is, I think, part of the point you're making with what's happening to the EPA. How many persons know you only have this short space of time for objections? The publicity of it, and we hope that by even raising the two stories here, we're doing our part to let you know, one, what's the project? That part is elusive, but only 30 days was given for objections to be sent in, and there is continuous registration via GCOM, and this is how you get your ID card. You know, you need an ID card for so many things, including one of them is voting too, right? But it is the way of registering as an eligible voter in the system, and the period is open, and those persons who would have been registered in 2019, you have to register again.
Yeah.
So you should know that.
So there's a lot going on, but in specifically when it regards the EPA giving citizen 30 days to send objections, this is specifically as it relates to the multi-well drilling program of the Kite Shore block that was exempted from the environmental study. So basically that's what that entails. And if you were to pick up from I believe it is Kite Shore News, it said as regards the potential impact from the project, they are expected to be physical, biological, and socio-economic in nature. All right. So we know that there is so much impact, but yet we have the exemptions from all these environmental studies and all of these things. So again, persons out there, civil society need to do their part in putting in objections. Not even civil society alone. You don't need civil society groups. You need anyone out there. You have objections. You have been witnessing. You have been reading what is going on. You have your objections. You need to send it in to the EPA, and you have a very short time span. So make sure that you do your bit in sending in objections if you have objections to these things.
Correct is right. And that being said, sugar, sweet lies. I would say. We always say sweet lies in the sugar industry. Sweet lies. You know, IFLOC recently ground to a halt because it's an issue with the punts there. They said,
So they say.
lots and lots of cane just wasted away. Lots and lots of cane wasted away because of some, mechanical issues there at IFLOC. It doesn't get any better. And that, I'm hearing, folks on the ground are telling us that estate might not even make it. There's another one on life support. And the administration currently that we have at the helm of this country, they promised on the campaign trail that they are going to reopen the sugar estates. Well, dying age too well at all. Dying age too well.
Well, also taking out of the article because we're picking this up directly out of Kaitor News, and Kaitor News is reminding persons that Gaisuka last year produced 30,865 metric tons less of sugar when compared to that of 2020, and this is based on a report. Gaisuka's pre-audited production stood at the 58,025 metric tons of sugar in 2021 compared to the 88,890 metric tons in 2020, right? So despite the significant shortfall, the corporations had said it met all the needs of the local market for 2021. Gaisuko is different. The
Yes,
Gaisuko,
very,
the
very much so.
operations there are way different, and we
Very much so. The different folks. Folks, for now, those of you who are now joining us, welcome to FYI, and we commit our program to you, and we ask that you share the live stream. You smash that emoji button, share. That's what they actually mean, share. Share. It's not a butterfly I'm doing. And then you smash the emoji button. That would be the best stroke.
Oh my goodness.
Smash. Folks, Bacchanal in quarantine. So this fella asked some guys to leave his shop because the man was working whole day. They drank into the night, and he said it's time to go. Right?
Yeah.
That was his mistake. They said a group of men, at least 3 of them, inflicted some brutal stab wounds on him and about his body. About his body. Very, very sad story. And we covered it last evening in our affiliate program, In the Ring. Very, very, very sad story here.
It's horrible. Look at
horrible,
the
horrible,
image
horrible.
that you're seeing there is very, very disturbing. Guys.
Horrible. I think we have let me see if we can gather his name from some of the reports that we had. Yep. Mr. Mohammed Razik is his name, Mohammed Razik, and from number 43.
No, 43 of number 77.
Village, the housing scheme there. Yeah. Again, 3 men, he asked them to leave his shop because he wants to go. He wants to close. And they brutally inflicted these stab wounds about his body. Mr. Mohammed Razik. Our thoughts and prayers go to him. Our thoughts and prayers go to him and his family. You can imagine how traumatizing this is.
Yeah, and I can see a quotation being taken out of the morning paper. There's that I tell them I got to lock up now, and they start cuss up and argue, and I argue back too. And when I turn around, the guy busts a bottle and bore me towards my neck. I bar it and it catch my ears, face, and hands. One had a cutlass and wood when they bore me and ran away. So
just so
could you imagine? And this is why I really don't liquor, alcohol altogether. It's a different level. I don't.
The police know who they want to be abusive to. Wrong set of people.
Most definitely, and I agree with I have to agree with you there.
Yep. And the other story is even more sad that we're covering on the morning trend. This visiting Guyanese, US-based Guyanese, came home for his brother's wedding, just 21 years old, and similar situation, almost similar. There they are at the wedding house in Crabwood Creek, and these men wanted to come into the yard, into the wedding house. Now they don't know them, and so the family said, "No, y'all can't come." I mean, things tight, and people go in any place they want, catch a little food now and so on. They said, "No, you can't come." They turned away from the yard, these men who were coming in, and started, hitting up and lashing up on some of the vehicles that were close by. And so the folks stepped out of the yard, and this young man was one of them. He stepped out of the yard, to say what foolishness y'all are doing. And no sooner has that been done, next thing you know, the report says the family members saw him walking back to them, and then he collapsed. He was stabbed.
Well, that young man that died there is 21-year-old Lakan Chatterpal, and who lived in Ohio in the USA. Guyanese living in Ohio in the
Yeah.
USA came home just for a wedding, and just like that, he lost his life. We've been talking about the accelerated rate of crime and lawlessness in the society altogether, and every single day that we come on, we have so many to talk about.
It seems that people don't have, you know,
Yeah.
when we look at this story, the one prior with the shop owner, and then we look at this, like people don't have any value for life. The man is the man shop. The man ready to close his shop, and they're telling him, no, you
And
can't.
now, and they were uninvited guests.
Uninvited guests.
This guys at the wedding house
Yeah,
there. He just said, he want them to leave. Then they started, I think, vandalizing the
yeah,
car. And when they
yeah.
interjected,
And
then
that's
for
it.
lost your
As
life
simple as
just like
that.
that.
And that is to tell the value, which is
Of
no value at all, that is placed in human life in some places.
It's most
Sad.
ridiculous.
Very,
Most
very sad.
ridiculous.
Right? Very, very sad.
Hmm.
And we covered this other trend in when we were skimming through the morning papers. Uh, Minister Ben has come out to say, rather belatedly, better late than never, about the road carnage and the reckless use of the roadways. And we've been talking about this. We said, and we continue to say, we see even now, arrival life, slow down, be cautious on the road, and we can get through. We can get through. That being said, folks, moving on the trend. Dr. Carissa Etienne, the executive director of PAO, she said, COVID ain't done yet.
Yes, my God.
Jarita, Dave, Susan, Fred, Michael, this thing ain't finished yet. Right? And you know what? As I'm here, let me say thanks, Dave. Dr. Chrissy Etienne. Respect and manners to Dr. Chrissy Etienne. She should have been one of the women we covered in our lead up to International Women's Day. This lady has been on the forefront of COVID-19. Several instances, she told us, y'all got COVID, y'all got the Delta, y'all got the Omicron. We didn't take notice, right? We didn't take notice.
She knew when our
Our folks on the ground were working and were ahead of us on COVID. And there's only one country they have to service, right? The Pan American Health Organization, doing a fantastic work there. Respect and manner, she's saying, it's too soon to relax. Well, we see like they drop all the protocols, they drop everything here. Everybody relax. Big events going on as per normal, right? The status quo, right? We have reverted to the status quo, the previous status quo. But Dr. Carissa Etienne, the executive director of PAHO, is telling us COVID and done, and that's our admonishment and encouragement to you guys. It's too soon to relax. If you don't take it from us, take it from Dr. Etienne.
Well, when it comes to, as we move forward, guys, when it comes to sports and celebrating young people and achievement, I think that is something that we love to celebrate here. And we've been encouraging persons to be active in sports and make sure that you do yourself proud and your country proud as well. And on that note, we have it's Ramdani siblings medal at the ACAC Badminton Championship.
Yeah,
and the
respect and manners to the Ramdanis. Respect and manners.
Yes.
Good to see our young people excelling and involved in positive activities. So encouragement to all of you, fight for your children, fight for them to be involved in wholesome, uplifting activities that can be a benefit to them. You know, students, young people who are involved in sports and in music and love to read, make them rounded, make them better individuals.
Most definitely, and we encourage you guys to send your congratulations out to these phenomenal young people, and we encourage all the persons involved in sports to make sure that you go out and you do your bit as things get a little bit better and brighter. You're going to be seeing the light at the end of the dark tunnel that you're in right now.
Respect and manners to the Ramdani again, the Ramdanis. Respect and manners. And our person of interest, I think Judy got this one. Our person of interest this morning.
Actually, this morning, I am specifically picking up the person of interest as Jada Overton. Jada Overton. She's our person of interest.
Why is that?
This morning.
What about Jada special? I wonder.
Actually, yesterday when I love celebrating young people and the achievements of young people all together.
Like the Ramdanis.
And so Jada is actually the winner of the British High Commissioner of the Day essay competition. So there's an essay competition that young people go on and they write. And Jada, she submitted in that essay competition and she won it. And so she's going to be the commissioner of the day, I believe, on the 14th.
Yep.
On
Yep.
the
The British
14th.
High Commissioner of the Day.
Yes.
Respect and manners to Jada Overton.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
Jada, we celebrate you, young woman, this morning. I think there
Yeah.
was an excerpt from her essay that was actually posted online from the commissioner's Facebook page. It said, in most parts of the world, when a girl is born, her wings are clipped off. She is not able to fly. As a woman, it is important to be conscious and challenge gender bias, ensuring inclusiveness in the world where women ought to have identical footing as men. So that's an extract.
You know, Jada, I got a couple of things I want you to make a statement on as your commissioner for the day. A couple of issues I want you to speak very strongly on, Jada. Respect and manners. That being said, the big issue for today, folks, the big issue for today, has the president acted illegally? Has the finale acted illegally on this issue of suspending the Police Service Commission when he did so the last iteration of the commission? The commission's life was coming to an end in August of last year, and he suspended them. I think it was in April or May of last year. And this matter is before the court currently. Anil Nandalal just yesterday, yes, lost an aspect of this case before the High Court. He had tried a motion for have it struck out on the basis that the court didn't have jurisdiction to hear it, and on some other grounds. Well, he didn't fare too well, and the question now goes forward as the judge who handed down the decision, Justice Gino Prasad, said, public interest demands that we have a conclusion to the matter, whether the president would have acted illegally when he suspended the commission. You needed to have he needed advice from the Judicial Service Commission. He needed advice from some other bodies as well before he went through with this suspension. But it didn't seem that happened. But again, the court is the final arbiter of this matter, and that is the big question, the big issue today. Whether really and truly he misconducted himself, he acted illegally. That is the big question.
I think I'm trying to pick up from my notes. Actually, one of the quotations that came out of that ruling, and I'm not seeing it before me at the moment. However, the judge was basically speaking towards the autonomy altogether of the body and having respect and uphold the autonomy.
These bodies
right?
are supposed to be, these commissions are supposed to be, and this comes back to one of the issues we've been following here in this very program, where we deal with the topic of breaking down the guardrails. We did say
this is
even
key.
right
This
now,
is key. This is key, right? This is key to it altogether. I don't believe that persons understand the seriousness, especially when it comes to this. And it says I'm picking this up off of news source. News source saying, while the judge found that the attorneys representing the former Police Service Commission might have erred in filing the matter under the commission's name, and knowing an expiration date was coming and the commission members were already suspended, he ruled that the matter could continue with the former chairman of the commission, Paul Slow, being made the applicant in the matter, right? And I'm happy to see the direction of which this particular case is going at the moment, because we have seen frivolous things being put in place for cases to be thrown out and so forth.
For cases, period.
Right?
For cases, period. Like, people perceive to be that you're calling them, names, and they...
Oh, my goodness.
The upper court step. And what the judge said is that this issue of, again, whether the president acted illegally in suspending the commission in the first place could not just be left hanging. Couldn't be a question that is left hanging, because it could impact on future cases. And I think he's right. He's right. So the case moves forward. The case moves forward. And that's the big question. What do you guys think? We had lead attorney on this matter, Selwyn Peters, on our affiliate program In the Ring last night. He spoke extensively. That program is still on our page. But again, hitting all of the notes that the president had no right to do that. He should have been in consultation with other bodies. He could not have been acting unilaterally, as what the Constitution stipulated. But again, we've said it here, we've said it in other programs. We have this notion that democracy only means elections and putting an X. Yeah. And once you're elected, you can do what you want to do. But no, our system has a lot of checks and balances. And is what all of these entities, commissions, and bodies and so forth help us to do. The Judicial Service Commission has a function. The Teaching Service Commission, it has a function. The Integrity Commission has a function. The Petroleum Commission has a function. All of them, and the list goes on. And 18 months in, lots of them have not been operationalized. Why? It is strategic. You don't want the oversight. Correct. You don't want the transparency. It is very strategic.
But just further on what the headline was saying there just now, is that the judge said it is not fair for the substantive case to be thrown out simply because the life of the commission had expired. He said with today's ruling, the substantive case against the government over the suspension of the PSC members will move forward. All right, and for persons that just doesn't know and it's new to this, is that the case seeks a declaration rather that the president's suspension of the chairman and members of the last PSC was in violation of the laws of Guyana. So this is what we were speaking about, right? The chairman and the members of the former PSC were suspended days before the Chief Justice ruled in the PSC's favor in a promotion case that was filed by two senior officers who challenged the promotion by the PSC.
Yeah, and one of the things that Selwyn Peters and I, attorney at law Selwyn Peters and I, talked about last evening is the fact that the president went as far as even calling. He had an initial meeting with Paul Slow and called him afterwards, asking him why certain policemen weren't promoted as against others. Yeah. And that's interference.
Well, that is interference. That is the most that's the depth of corruption and corrupt practices altogether. When you have when there is the head of state intervening in a matter that he has no business intervening with. We cannot go down that line, and I am happy to see that case will move forward. I don't know the direction that it's going to go in, but I hope that we will be seeing justice being served rightly so, and that the actual promotion will go forward by law, how it should have been in the first place, and without intervention altogether.
Yep, that's our time today, folks. Believe it or not. Twitter.
Well, I don't know about time this morning. This morning we rushed by our the folks that are waiting online in queue.
Yes, yeah. And we still see them commented. Joel Ward, we see you. How are you doing, Joel? And guys, you're still with us. Before we let you guys go, please ensure that you share the program. We want to see those emojis as well. We want to see how you guys are feeling out there. And remember to partner with us. We got to keep this program going. We haven't finalized on all the elements yet. It is still a work in progress. We're still tweaking it to get it just right for you folks. But we want to thank the hundreds of you who tune in every morning to this program. You tune into Below the Belt. You tune into our affiliate program, In the Ring. And you also engage in content, incredible sources.
I think we had a video, guys. I know Sharon is rushing fast, but I think we had a video that we wanted to share with you this morning. These guys have that video queued up with a young lady with an amazing voice.
Yep.
Do we have that video?
Yep, I think so.
Could we just pull that up, please? So there you had it, and
in light of International Women's Day.
Yes, and that it it was just such a beautiful voice altogether. We picked that up off of Glamorous oh 05 TikTok account that was circulating. And we go through what I said, we go through
Glamour
everything.
Boutique?
We go
Glamorous?
through. No, the account is Glamorous oh 05. So we go through TikTok, all the social media pages, we go through all of the news
We fast, that's what
sites
you say.
all over
We
BBC,
fast.
Bloomberg,
We's there wrong.
CNN.
We's
So
there
in the
wrong.
morning when we get to you, we make sure that whatever is relevant and things that we know that you need to hear, that you hear. And there you have it, a very beautiful voice.
Yeah.
I didn't get
Music
the
industry in good
opportunity.
hands.
Yep, I didn't get the opportunity to actually see the school there, but that young woman there have a beautiful voice, and kudos to the young woman on the guitar beside
Yeah.
her. That
Music
was
industry, the future
that
augurs
was
well.
playing. I know everyone there, and this is something that we need to see more out there. I want to see more of those videos out there as opposed to the videos
Tag us.
of children
Right?
fighting. You know,
see an interesting video, you have some interesting information, send it our way, 627-6963. And that's our MMG number too, believe it or not. Folks, we're available for those of you who want to partner with us to keep our program going. We're available on Cash App, we're available on Zelle, we're available via PayPal, MMG, Western Union, MoneyGram. Just WhatsApp us if you need any guidance to that very number, 627-6963.
you know, I haven't touched my tea, guys. I came on this
Yeah, we
morning.
just been going. I touch mine a lot.
I just realized I haven't touched my tea.
I touch mine a lot.
I see Jewel out there. Jewel Ward is saying more woman. What is it? More woman per woman.
More power to women. More power to women.
Good morning to you and thank you for joining
Francis
us.
Mingo Byrne was here with us. Timmy
Carletta.
Van de Cruz here as well. Yep, all the folks. Timmy.
So I think it's Tiny, and that person joined from Toronto. You know, Cher's eyes are aging this morning.
Tiny,
most
so.
Definitely, we see
The name Tiny.
Yolanda. So that Yolanda is separated.
Yo's the first name.
So,
Landa's the second name.
we have
Yolanda.
Sherry is joining us from Barbados this morning also. Sherry is in the house quite often.
Sherry,
thank you for
do you
being
guys
with us.
print the Barbados Today papers?
Oh yeah, that's a good question to Sherry this morning.
Sherry, you guys print the Barbados Today. Let me just make sure it's not me. Guys, thanks for joining us.
We have Gordon Smith is joining us and watching from Canada. So Gordon said to keep up the good work. Thank you so much.
Morning, Gordon. Good to see you.
We endeavored to do that. Lennox Anderson, good morning.
I see Mark Allman as well. Mark, how are you doing? All the usual suspect folks, and show you share before you go. Smash that emoji button. Good to see you, folks. Tomorrow's Friday, guys. It's Friday already. Looking forward to the weekend with you. Looking forward to a final program for the week tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow is a TGIF. Oh, and before you guys go, let me just make a clarification for folks that joined us yesterday morning. So yesterday morning, I came on the program and I said it's Wednesday, and I said, you know, I would think that they refer to Wednesday as hump day. And Sharon Duncan and the guys were like, oh my God, what is Jordan talking about? And their perverted minds went all over the place, right? And so after I came off of the program yesterday, I had to go and I'm like, look, this is what it is. So basically, hump day Wednesday it's called hump day because it's like it's in comparison to the proverbial hill that you climb over. That hump Wednesday could be perceived as the more difficult day, being the middle of the week, and then after Wednesday it's the dung, so it becomes more easier. So persons
our
out there,
hump day different. Our hump day different. Guys, hump day different.
Persons out there that did not understand, that is what I was saying. So tomorrow it's TGIF. That's why I mentioned
TGIF
that.
day. No hills. Right into the weekend.
And so it's going to be a phenomenal weekend, but tomorrow is just our last day, so make sure that you get adequate sleep so that you can get up and be productive tomorrow, and don't get up tomorrow and think that you can start dragging around because it's Friday. So as you go, continue to share. Make sure that you join the podcast below the belt. Make sure that you join the podcast below the belt at 12 noon today. And also make sure that you are in the ring tonight. You know, Sharon is very heated in the ring these nights, and something is going on.
That's right.
I'm telling you that when it comes to in the ring program, I swear that one day Sharon is gonna come on with a boxing glove.
Mm-hmm.
Like one day.
Who knows?
Who
Who
knows?
knows?
So the same person, just like how someone sent in the bell that is so famous right
Send us a
now.
boxing glove. We are waiting on, right? Just to make it red.
so,
Blue, we
so
want
all
blue.
the folks that are joining us online from overseas, and when you go out there into the stores, so if you see a boxing glove,
Blue. Blue.
you can pick up a boxing glove and send it over to Sherrod Duncan so that he would actually so that he would actually be boxing when the
Yeah,
day's
yeah.
out.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
That's it.
Share, smash, smash. Partner, partner.
Yes, we need to have as many partners as possible. Continue to share. We're gonna go check in on you guys. I'm not gonna do it like that, I swear. Fired up. Loretta Payne says she's fired up. So Loretta, Sharon is trying to mimic how I would tell you to share. But guys, that is not so. I'm not like that. I prefer not to give you that indication at all. So not that proper. As we go, be safe on the roadway. We always say it and we always come back. We do not want to be reporting casualties on our roadways. So make sure that you're safe when you go out there and make sure that you admonish everyone else that you know to be safe also. So there you have it, guys. Have a wonderful Thursday.